The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good.
I do not know how you have found your dealings with the Dalish.
Whatever my frustrations with them, it was a privilege to be able to help our people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. The chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You and Algernon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
The two of you are too much alike. Both of you want to be in charge.
I have no desire to be in charge.
No. You just want to be able to correct anyone who's not doing everything the way you would have done it.
I see you have been observing me as well during these conversations.
Alright. I can see how you and Algernon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Like the terrible trickster Fen-Harel, who sealed away the gods?
There was truth to their stories. My rebellion had indeed disrupted the lives of those who had been comfortable. And when I created the Veil, I destroyed an empire. Their judgments were fair, if clouded. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen-Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And every mage knows that what we see in the Fade might not be literally true.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
Last time I got his attention, he got angry enough to come after us with the Blighted Dragons. Hopefully this bakes him into a mistake we can use against him.
Every act of resistance is a thorn in his side. He will break soon. When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I'm impressed you got that out without choking on it.
If I could not admit when I was wrong, I would be no better than Elganon.
Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
Except for Inquisitor Llewellyn.
I said that I resolved to do so, not that I succeeded. She is a good woman. Growing close to her was selfish of me.
Do you regret it?
I live with countless regrets, Some of them I have grown to cherish more than my victories.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganan's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganan's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
We've done some great work underwater. You know why no one else can save the world except us? Why the Inquisitor told me it had to be us? Because we don't give up. Knock us down and we come back swinging.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
What about the Venatori that were at the crater? They might know where the gods are hiding.
No one will risk being an informant. Not while the Venatori hold power in Minrathous. It's a dead end.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And food. About half are remaining provisions. Enough to feed the Antam navy.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Viago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
Did Viago tell you how much time we have?
Days to weeks. Nothing more precise.
Well, that's our best lead so far. Track those supplies, and we should find the gods.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Despite the odds, we've survived. We've made a habit of it. Take some time, rest. Be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last. Myrna, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far
We
back.
have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
I never studied necromancy in Tevinter, but isn't that stupidly dangerous?
Johanna is, unfortunately, skilled enough to make an attempt, but we've found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
That can't be fun.
I'd hoped it would pass. No, Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
A little fear is healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
You know, Rook, every time I think I've got a handle on how weird magic is, it just gets weirder.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know. Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
It'd be kind of surprising if you didn't.
I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
You knew? Because I sure didn't. Boy, am I glad it worked out.
Me too. You helped me remember who I was. Not some Titan, but just Lace Harding. You can be flippant, but I know what you did for me. And so do you, whether you want to admit it or not.
You take that back.
Make me. You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it.
But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
Really? We were having a nice moment and you bring him up?
I can't help what comes to my head. Don't you feel sorry for him, even a little bit?
He's planning to kill a lot of people.
Yes. Solus took this path because he thinks he has no choice. But the Inquisitor believes there is another way for him. For them. She could save him, if he would just let her. No one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
Rook, Evka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendel with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendel.
Agreed. Thanks.
Rook, I've compiled the last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Alia's hideout. Not sure if I should be excited or worried. Either way, I'm there.
Worried? And I figured.
So where is this place?
The Minrathous Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alias haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
Then I guess I get to meet Alia in person.
It's time she showed her face. Ducktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
So what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan, put the last pieces in place. After that, we'll see.
Not good. Not even a little bit. Rook, we have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I know if they started another ritual? They did, and it's big. Really, really big. Arlethan big, maybe.
You're sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
We really like going towards the bad thing instead of away from it.
It's not time for jokes, Rook. Sorry, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry, but it's bad.
So let's go stop them then.
Right. Let's hope they aren't very far along.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. And there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time. Hey, Antoine. Evka.
I can still hear it. Though it is giving me a headache.
Please be careful.
With the container? It's very sturdy. I tested it.
What? When? And how?
Am I interrupting?
No. Our study of the new blight continues.
We know the gods changed the blight. We think it changed more than they realized, or altered itself after.
It's answering to something other than gods.
You sure you're not underselling the scariness there?
I don't know. We could try again.
And give Rook nightmares?
So what's the blight answering to?
Remember the strange call I heard after the Lavendale battle? It was here, in the wetlands.
We think the source is out a ways, towards the redoubt.
I can tell it's something large, rooted. A construct of the blight itself. An eruption controlling the rest. What that could mean... Everything that calls the blight impacts the Wardens. We withstand it. But gods, archdemons, it all adds strain.
If the eruption calls the blight, then it could mess with us too. Spark the calling sooner. We'll lose ourselves, along with the wetlands.
Should you have told me all this? About the calling?
First Warden would have said no.
You're our friend. You chase archdemons and fight the blight. It seems fair you know what this means.
Antoine, you hear stuff in the blight. More than some of the others. Are you...
Yes. A little sensitive. But it's not calling to me. Not yet. Like everyone else, I'll know when that changes.
So how do I help?
Figured you'd be in. Remember those samples you found when we first arrived? Based on our studies, Antoine made an alchemical flame. It's impressive. It should destroy the eruption.
Theoretically. At least the last batch was stable. Mostly.
But if the eruption's controlling the blight and it gets attacked, then the blight around Lavendale might respond.
Yes, its roots are everywhere. And spreading. I can feel them.
These people can't lose their blight experts. I can go after the eruption.
While we guard against nasty side effects here.
It's a plan. I didn't miss the part where Antoine said the alchemical flame is mostly stable.
I'll make sure the containers are sealed.
Maybe don't bang them together.
The blight poisons so much. Water, plants, animals, people. Some would call the wetlands dead already. But they're not. It's not too late. Whatever the eruption means for the Wardens, we can leave this place better. It's what we're supposed to do.
We'll take our stand in the sheltered glade. Meet us there when you're done.
Hey, Dad. You know those containers you made for some of the Warden's joining lists?
Yeah?
Can we make one for the physician, Flynn? They should get one too, right?
We can make something for Flynn.
Maybe a special medic one?
Good idea. Back again?
Heading out.
All right, let's find the Blight eruption. Edka and Antoine think the Blight eruption is the source of the surge.
We destroy it, and the blight stops spreading?
Can't say for sure, but if it gives us a shot, we have to take it. Antoine's right about one thing. The wetlands die for good, do nothing. Keep that up.
You're training a son, sharpening his skills. We help teaching the quiet people.
You want to train a son?
No one ever looks up. My targets wouldn't see him coming.
A griffin assassin?
He's part eagle. Why not part crow? He'll be a natural.
The redoubt. The Blight eruption's taken root inside. Let's go.
Nice work, Rook!
Not bad. Shadow trap. I can't believe we've got another archdemon to deal with.
This time will go better.
It has to.
Do you think you'll survive this one?
I don't know. Getting out of White's house alive. There's definitely something in here. Something wrong.
Let's get this over with.
The eruption's on the other side of that barrier.
We'll need to cut up the tendrils to break through.
While holding on Darkspawn.
All right, better move before more Darkspawn show up.
Up on the ledge. We can hit the tendrils from there.
A ballista!
Never turned down one of those.
We're through.
Let's see what's at the heart of this.
What is that the Blight eruption?
Mierda.
The Darkspawn are protecting it. We need to take them out. Gavin?
I can hear that eruption. The blight's spreading. We need to stop it.
Gavin! What's wrong?
The eruption's not happening. Just keep fighting. We're not falling. Way to go!
Keep going.
We won't give in. Get clear!
Still in one piece.
This is it. Let's get that eruption. All right. We strike and the whole thing goes up. All right, time to destroy this thing.
They aren't blighted. Were they dormant?
Maybe. They're beautiful. Much like you.
Ah, Orc. Hi.
We knew when you hit that eruption. The blight around Lavendel reacted. And there was a sound in it. Like nothing we've heard before.
What happened in there? What was it like?
There's some pretty scary things in the Minrathous catacombs, but I've never seen anything like that.
A story for your fellow shadows?
Not sure even the Viper will believe it.
When the eruption was destroyed, some of the bigger tendrils pulled back. The remaining blight won't vanish overnight, but it's a good sign. And this place opened up.
The flowers here, they managed to survive, buried, untouched. They have a chance to return now.
Look at you, out here with the flowers, and a moment alone that I walked into the middle of.
You're fine.
Yes, please. Enjoy the flowers.
We thought the Grey Warden's purpose would end when the last archdemons died.
And that time's almost here. It's unbelievable.
The Order is those of us left now. When the archdemons fall, some wardens will hang up their swords. Until they're calling, at least.
So the Wardens are finished?
No, our numbers may get smaller, but Efka and I will be here. Others will stay too.
There's still blight in the world. There's something new calling to it. And to us.
There's blight inside us too. If it changed out there, have we changed as well?
What matters is that if new evils show up, we'll be here to keep them back.
Are you doing okay with all this? Really?
Don't worry, I'm good. I've got everything I need right here.
Me too.
Do you really think something inside you has changed?
It's possible. Or maybe we're the same. But does that mean we'll be the same? You can't sense the blight. But trust us, it feels different. And the sound is changing too.
As for what it means, it's like Antoine said. We don't know yet.
You're dealing with a lot of questions. Really big questions. I'd be a mess.
Chasing gods, living in the Fade, that doesn't raise big questions?
It does. And my point stands.
The blight feels relentless most of the time. We see what it does up close.
A world dying, how it spreads. But we keep going.
And look, these flowers can make it back.
They can. Okay, I'll leave you two alone. With the flowers. And the sweet moment I didn't interrupt.
It's fine, I promise. Are you worried we don't go on dates? Because we do. Lavendel was named for flowers. They must have been everywhere before. When we get back.
We can stay here a bit longer first.
Oh, yes. I thought I heard birds earlier. Maybe we can find them?
I can't believe we've got another archdemon.
This time will go better.
Good work!
What were we talking about?
I can't believe we've got another archdemon to deal with.
This time will go better.
It has to.
Do you think you'll survive this one?
I don't know. Getting out of Weishaupt alive might have been a fluke.
It cannot be. A son needs you. I wouldn't mind you sticking around either.
You're not so bad yourself.
Make it hurt.